Okay, we're looking at TV show formats and how you can use those in your next talk. And in this last segment, I'm going to work around a show planner blueprint for you. Some handy elements we discussed already, some planning and structure clock that you can do, and then how you're going to put that into a blueprint. For me, it is the most important thing when you work in television, obviously, to have the entire crew and everybody on the production understand exactly what you're going to do next. So it is important to have a running order, and I would suggest that you go online as well on my website and check out the checklist, because there are so many moving parts in a presentation that you may slip up on something, and that's why I think it's good to have it all on paper in a blueprint, and that's what this next section is about. So here is a list. I discussed some of them already in the previous section. Clocks, pre-show welcomes. These are really fantastic. I find that it's a wonderful idea to have a pre-show talk, because it is what you do while you check that your sound is happening, that you check that your picture is there. You welcome your people in the room, and you get comfortable, and you breathe deep, and you tell them what you're going to do during the session. It is like that event that you do, and you're going out beforehand to meet people outside, having coffee and so on. So I think a pre-show talk is a really nice element. It's always great to have a clock because it creates anticipation and adventure. Have some headlines, have some lineups, do next ups and coming ups, and have logos and stings. Those are all the elements that we've discussed. Insert some videos, and just be sure that your compression is low enough so that your computer can handle it. And of course, do interviews. Sometimes during a Zoom call, you could pre-arrange that you're going to have a guest that you speak to for 5 minutes, just in order to shake things up a little bit and move it into a new direction before you get back to your talk or your presentation. It really helps to mix things up a little bit. This is a planner, so the first thing that I think you have to have in mind is the key message or the focus of your talk. So start by looking at the ideas that you want to share. You would already have put that into the clock and have at least one key idea per act. And then start thinking about support materials. Support materials, I would say, are things like, are there quotes you want to throw in? Is there an image? Is there a graph? Is there a model? Is there, some other information? Would you like to place music underneath? Remember the power of placing a piece of music underneath in your PowerPoint that helps you to create the emotive moment at that stage by cueing the music to create mood and help you in the background. Something like that is just interesting because it picks up the pace, and it immediately can change pace and show you a whole different world of emotion, and you don't even have to have that work. It's coming around in the background on your PowerPoint, and you hear the beat and you hear the rhythm, and it's helping you to get through it. Try that one out. Now I'm going to look at how you can put this on a clock. I talked a little bit about this idea of planning it up front, and sometimes you can just grab a piece of paper. Now, this was Boo Prince and myself did the masterclass with Joni Petty, and to prepare for a 2-hour show, that is what I did there. And you can see I created 4 blocks in each hour of 15 minutes, and those are the basic building blocks for the 2 hours, and then the format took the shape of the actual show the way that this one rolls out if you see it as an online webinar. Here is a breakdown of Joni's own show, which was a 48-minute talk with 3 minutes of Q&A. And here on the left-hand side, you can see how we plotted it out as a scene set, which she did in some 2 minutes. She had about 12 minutes of this, which was the first act. The second act was 16 minutes, and 16 minutes on the other one, and it broke really well. Here's how she blocked it. Essentially, we use a lot of the time, it's handy to use post-it pads, because post-it pads can still move around and you don't have to commit to something. I found the moment that I start working online and I'm working in a digital space, I've committed to something in this line, and because of that, I don't want to move it or copy and paste it elsewhere. It just becomes confusing. So it really is also a different process when you work in your mind and you're writing it on a piece of paper. There's time that it takes to process the stuff, and it just crystallizes better and it shapes better in your mind as you start forming your session, your talk. I really enjoy working with post-it pads. From there, Joni started checking to make sure that there was a key idea that she wanted to share in each 5 minutes or so. This is the first act in the teaser. And then, of course, going back to how it worked in the run, this is what it looked like as a whole bunch of stickies to get us to 45 minutes. And then the last thing that helps you to sort of seal it, the glue of it really, is to work with where am I going the whole time from the moment that that initial opening is there. What is that golden thread that's going to lead us to the cliffhanger? And then build the glue in between, which is the back announce every time we've dealt with this section, this is still coming. Or coming up in the next 5 minutes, I'm going to talk about this, this, and this. It's that culture that it just gives us a structure, even for the viewer, to know where they are in this journey and what is still coming. And it reminds them, it reinforces where they've already been in this talk. So it really is a powerful technique to use. Right now, there's an exercise. I want to look at the important beats that you would like to have share with the audience. So this is really quite simple. It's a sheet, and on the beat sheet, each line is essentially a minute. There are 48 to 60 minutes that are beats that you can just go and write down on the beat sheet, and it is referenced back to the clock that you did in the exercises before. So initially you just said, high level, these are the 6 acts, a teaser and a cliffhanger, and now you're going to work it in higher detail and write at least 3 or 4 key words down for each minute of thoughts that you want to share in that minute and how that relationship will turn out. It'll immediately, you'll see, help you to prioritize, for example, 12 different points that you need to do in an act, or 6 different points, because you have to decide about the priority. And if you have 8, but you only have space for 6, it's immediately going to cue you as to which ones are the important ones and which are negligible, that you can start eliminating. Remember to edit, 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 because it really is the heartbeat of the thing.